I'm extremely proud of these guys. To come off that, the loss last night, what we did, the effort we put, guys playing major minutes, it took the entire group. We'd always talk about by committee, but these guys really showed it, and that's what we just said. Mo playing his first back-to-back, Wendell coming up with those big rebounds down the stretch, but everybody just contributed. I thought Anthony Black's defense was big time at times, being able to sit down and guard guys. Again, everybody contributed, and that's what this group, continues to show and will continue to do. Yeah, you cannot say enough about Desmond Bane. He's just a flat out winner. That's it. He's going to find a way no matter what. Beat up, banged up, it doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to will his team to a win. And that's just what he brings to this group. The toughness, the focus, and making shots, getting downhill, all those little things within the game. He's making the right plays. Mm-hmm. I've said it from the beginning, and we continue to say it. He has proven to be more than just what he brings to the court. It's worth every piece. The way he takes care of these guys, the way he communicates, the way his toughness represents our locker room. And the court is one thing, but everything he is as a leader, as a man, with this group is just gigantic. And that feeds into the rest of the group with who he is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got a lot to learn. You talk about giving up 22 rebounds last night, or offensive rebounds tonight. They had 9, ability to finish the possessions out. And that's the difference in the game. Now, obviously, Mathurin had a shot at the end, similar to last night. So our ability to continue to grow and learn from that is going to be key. We'll sit down, we'll watch these end of game scenarios because we're going to be in a lot of these. And our guys we got to keep learning, how we continue to improve in these scenarios because, like I said, we're going to be in a lot of these.
Coach. Hey, Coach. Sorry. Hey, Coach, can you talk about Tristan for a second and his growth since last season and, starting, coming off the bench, the mental adjustment that he had to make?
Yeah, I thought Tristan was really good for us tonight. I think, last night, didn't necessarily shoot the ball well, but then comes back and responds, big for us tonight, was sitting down and taking defensive matchups on. And it's not easy for him because he has been bumped in the starting lineup, then bumped out, and then been injured. And so all those things play a factor, but he's done a great job of staying the course, continue to put in the work, and he's grown, and these guys really respond to him when he's on the floor.
Coach, how do you build off this win?
Yeah, we got the Lakers, on Tuesday. I think it's very important that we just get our rest more than anything. That's 2 tough games, 2 physical teams, with a lot of minutes played by these guys. So we just make sure that we get our rest, recover. And this is a building block for our guys. The chemistry, the camaraderie, you hear the locker room in there, understand how hard this game was, but our ability to stay the course no matter what.
All right, you just heard from head coach Jamal Mosley. There's something that he pointed out. I want to talk with you about, Coach. He was talking a little bit about just the end of game situations, these tight game situations. Last night, you go to double overtime. Tonight, you have Mathurin who could shoot the game-winning shot or tie it at least. When you think about those types of tight game shots, opportunities, the Magic, they are going to continue to see things like this.
Right.
How do you continue to build and learn off that so you do put yourself in a position to continue to win?
Yeah, the main thing is that you have to be prepared for these type of situations. Like tonight, they were prepared to take the ball out of Kawhi Leonard's hands at the end of the game. And now he made a great play and found Benedict Mathurin all the way across court. And your defense is sucked in because you're double teaming Kawhi Leonard. And that's why Mathurin got a pretty good look, but a late contest, but a contest anyway. So it's really just game planning what we need to do defensively at the end of a game to take it out of a star player's hands, and what we need to do offensively, especially when the clock is low. You have plays like under 12 seconds, under 8 seconds, under 4 seconds. All these things are things that teams work on.
Yeah.
Different plays for different situations and time on the clock. And I think our guys, Jamal and his staff, do a really good job of that. But you saw a really good example tonight of them getting the ball out of Kawhi's hands, late in the fourth quarter, not just on the last play, but, you know, you're going to make other guys beat you. If we're going to lose the game when you're on the road, say if we're going to lose the game, it's not going to be because the star player beats us because we're playing him one-on-one. We're going to make him give the ball up, and somebody else is going to have to beat us.
Yeah, and the Magic, they get on top and get a win in this one. Let's send it back into the media where Wendell Carter Jr. is speaking now.
Lost the night before where a lot of guys logged a lot of minutes. You know, those games the next game can go a lot of different ways. For your guys to step up in a hard fought game and respond the way you did, you know, what is it you feel that says about your group?
We're resilient. Like you said, we had every excuse in the world after playing a double overtime game last night. Could have came in and said we were tired, body sore, whatever the case may have been. But we dug deep, and now that's a standard for us. You know, we understand that now we can do it. I mean, I think that's a good and a bad thing. Like we can't use that as an excuse anymore. So, especially against a team like the Clippers, you know, a well-coached team. So we just moving forward. You know, we just have a new standard for sure.
You look, you know, you don't know a guy till you play with him. Getting to play with Des over the course of the season, what have you learned about him and his ability to continue elevate his way of play over these last couple of games?
You know, he reminds me of a lot of older guys in this league. You know, guys who have established themselves and have a mindset of he's going to play his game no matter what. His process is going to remain the same. You know, early on, he was struggling a little bit, but one thing about it, he stuck to what he know he's good at. And, you know, now we're seeing the benefits of what, you know, trading for a guy like that does. So, you know, his continued elevation, just shows, you know, he's one of the best in this league in terms of, you know, his position, shooting the three ball, getting downhill, facilitating, playmaking. Like, he's exactly what we need. So, you know, he's one of those guys, you know, ever since that Portland game, that's kind of when the trend, the needle just started to go up, and, you know, he's continuing to climb.
How tough does Kawhi make it, you know, especially down the stretch, and how imperative is it in those situations to try to get the ball out of his hands as you guys kind of were able to do over some of those last stretch?
You know, Kawhi, especially as of late, is probably the best player in this league. You know, he gets to his spots, you know, whenever he wants to. Very calm, very collective. He's never feels like he's rushed or sped up at all. Very solid defensively, can guard, you know, most guys on the court. So, you know, he's one of those guys you try to just contain throughout the game, make it tough, make every look for him tough. And then late game, like we did, try to get the ball out of his hand, make someone else beat us. So I think we did a really good job of that late, down the stretch. And, you know, it's definitely something we can learn from going forward.
How would you describe this win for your ball club in terms of being a momentum builder?
What?
Momentum builder.
You know, we've had a lot of roller coaster ups and downs throughout this year. You know, coming into this West Coast swing, our last West Coast swing of the season. You know, after All-Star break, I think it's something that we need. You know, knowing where we're at in the standings, you know, injuries, guys in and out of the lineup. Like, I think a game like tonight just gives us a little bit more confidence, you know, going into the next game and then getting back home for our homestand. I think it's just important to steal as many games as possible, especially on the road, and especially against a West Coast team where, you know, offense is you know, they say offense is much better on the West Coast. So I think this is just going to push us even more to our standard goal. Our standard will continue to rise, and we continue to do a better job going forward.
All right, you just heard from Wendell Carter Jr. talking about tonight's win. The Magic coming away with this one, 111-109 against the Clippers. When we return, we'll talk about the road ahead for this Magic team. Much more on Magic Live, the postgame show. Your final score from Intuit Dome. The Magic come away with a win on this one, 111-109 here on the third game of this West Coast road trip and the set back-to-back. Let's take a look at our Toyota road ahead because we're not done yet, Coach. No, we got the Lakers coming up on Tuesday night. Luka's just having himself a season. And what I love is that we know that Luka and Mosley have such a good relationship. So that game's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, they spent those years in Dallas together, and Luka Doncic, LeBron James, the Orlando Magic. We got a nice game coming up there in LA, and looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing Luka play in person for the first time in his Laker uniform.
Should be a good one as the Magic, they come away with a win in this one, 111-109 against the Clippers. It was Desmond Bane who just had himself a great performance here tonight. 36 points for him. Paolo Banchero, 16 points for him. Wendell Carter Jr., 7th double-double of the season, 15 points, 14 rebounds. Thank you to everyone who stayed up and helped watch this game with us tonight. Thank you to Ty Eastman and Greg Hartung and our crew here with the Clippers staff. Up next, the Magic will go head-to-head against the Lakers Tuesday night to finish off this road trip. Magic fans, have yourself a good night. We will see you in Crypto Arena taking on the Lakers.